Okay, so we're going to be working on 5.2, which is multiplication wrestling. Just like when wrestlers go to a wrestling meet, they are in a bracket and they have to work with us. They have to wrestle certain brackets, and if they win, they move on to this next bracket, correct? Well, this kind of game kind of goes with that. It teaches us a little bit about partial products before we actually get into partial products, which will be in 5.5. Okay, so first thing you do, you're going to need a deck of cards, but it can only be numbers 0 through 9. I realize there's no zeros, but you can turn a king or a queen or whatever you may have at home into a 0. Okay, in class, the kids will actually have number cards. You can also make these out of notebook cards or paper, and it's completely up to you. You want to make sure that there's enough for the kids to be able to play like a full deck, but just numbers 0 through 9. Okay, so the first things first, each player is going to draw a set of cards. So for player 1, I'm going to draw player 1 here. Player 1 draws his cards, or her cards, and let's say I draw a 2 and a 3, and a 7 and an 8. I want to make the biggest number I can with these cards. So this one would be 32. Let's cross this out so we're not getting confused. This would be 87. I'm multiplying these together, hence multiplication wrestling. In order to do that, I'm going to use the partial products method because I know that 32 times 87 is not an easy one to do. So, in order to do that, I need to make sure that everybody gets to wrestle in their bracket. So, 30 times 80. 30 and 80 are going to wrestle. See? 30. This is where this place value is, right? 30 and 80. All right? Now, 30 also must wrestle with 7. So, 30 is going to wrestle with 7. Okay? And then 2 must wrestle with 80. So I always put my bigger number on the top because it's much easier to multiply using my big number on the top. Okay, so 2 times 80. And I'm also going to do 2 times 7. Okay? So my next step as a player, I need to multiply these. And these are extension facts, so I know that I can just drop off my 2 zeros. All right? And now I have 3 times 8, 24. 30 times 7. Another extension fact, I see a 0. That kind of makes me excited because I know I can easily drop that off. 7 times 3 is 21. Next number I have is 80 times 2. Oh, there's another 0. And 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 7 is 14. Now my job is to figure out the total. So I'm going to add these partial products together now. So for me, I find it much easier to stack them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that instead of trying to add over this way. All right. So I'm going to stack these up so that I get the answer. So I have 2,400 plus 210 plus 160, making sure I'm lining them up so I don't get confused, plus 14. 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 1 is 1, plus 6 is 7, plus 1 more, 8. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2, bring them on down. So player 1 has 2,784. 2,784. All right, so I'm going to clear these annotations because I'm going to move on to the next player. Actually, let me try something here. Oh, sorry. We'll just open up a new one here. Okay, so player 2. Player 2 gets to open, or draw, I'm sorry, their 4 cards. And they have 4 and 3 and 6 and let's do 7. So I have to make the biggest number that I can with my 4 cards, and so I've got 43 on this side and 76 on this side. And I'm multiplying 43 times 76. So again, they must all wrestle each other. So 40 must wrestle with 70. And 40 must wrestle with 6. 3 must wrestle with 70 as well. Remember, I put that big number on top. It helps me. 3 times 6, 6 times 3. I'm going to flip it around there. Okay, so I'm looking at my first problem, 40 times 70. Oh, that's an extension. I can drop off my zeros. It makes it much easier. 4 times 7 is 28. Then I have 40 times 6. Oh, another extension. Drop off my 0. 6 times 4 is 240. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 7 is 21. So I have 210 there. And 6 times 3, 18. Okay, so again, I'm going to stack them up so I can add these together because that is what I'm supposed to do next, okay? So I have 2,800 plus 240 plus 210 plus, oh, you line that up really well, plus 18. Okay, 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 8 is 8, 0 plus 4, 4, plus 1, 5, plus 1 more is 6. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12, and I need to carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So player 2 has 3,268, and player 1 had 2,784. All right? So player 2 wins, and they can take that set of cards. All right? And you just re-deal each time. Each student picks out 4 and goes through the same process. This is a really fun game once the kids kind of get into it, and it's a way to teach this in a very non-threatening manner. So please, play this game with your kids tonight, throughout this next few weeks. I know that if you guys get into this as a game, the kids will be a little more at ease when we actually get to this piece in the next few chapters. The homework tonight is actually going to be on extensions, so no stress there, but try to give this game a shot. All right? So the extension facts that we'll be doing tonight is our homework for 5.2.